I love filming at boat shows because we have all the boats in a really nice state and it's a great place to see them all together. The only problem with boat shows is they tend to be very busy with people. Today, not so much. I'm not sure why. Yes, we all know why. It is chucking it down, but it does mean that we get really, really good access to this Riviera 645 SUV because we always have a queue of people waiting for me to finish. Today, we've got this place to ourselves. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Now, this is the classic Riviera SUV. We've been on a few of these. This is the biggest one we've been on, and it really is SUV turned up to 11. You've got the high-low platform at the back here, so that's where your tender would live. And then if we head on board, this is all fairly standard stuff. So the idea of this really is that this is your sort of your outside play area, your yard, if you like. And then your porch up here is a sort of indoor-outdoor, and then you go inside. Works really well. It's very popular. They do it right across the range. You've got the option of a bait well back here, or you can just have storage. These are storage boxes in the side as well. I'm pointing and holding an umbrella simultaneously here. And then underneath the floor, we've got fish box built in down here. We've got storage on either side. Normally on these, they also give you access to the IPS pods. This is big leagues. We're into proper shaft driving, great big MAN engines, but we will have a look at that, of course, when we go a bit further in. If I open that one for you, we've got the fridge there, and indeed another one right next to it. Typical Riviera, all this stuff is super, super solid. And then on this side, barbecue and the sink. And the other thing that we've got here then is docking controllers like this. These boats are normally owner operated. There is an area for one member of crew if you wanted, but typically that's not normally the case with these. Stepping up here then, this is what I mean about how this kind of takes you into the porch area. The other thing you've got here is engine access. So this hatch here opens up, there's a ladder down, engines are down underneath the floor. And if I put my umbrella down now that we're on the inside, oh, there we go. Hopefully without getting everything wet. This takes us into here. Now what they've done with this, again, it's similar to what we've seen before, but it's made bigger, and in fact you can have this air conditioned on this one as well, which is nice. This is all this sort of isinglass type material, so it's flexible glass effectively. It's not actually glass, of course, it's like a perspex, but it's very, very clear. You can take that out if you want to. You can roll this one down if you want to, so it gives you ultimate flexibility. This one here, you can unfold. You can see it's got hinges along here, so that folds over. You can make that into a big day bed if you like, and then there's an ice maker and a sink over there in the corner. On the other side then, we've got this area, which is just a lovely dining area, relaxing area. Use it however you wish. This table, of course, again, it folds, so you've got the hinges there. That will double up in size. In fact, let's just, since we have all the time in the world today, we'll do it, shall we? Look at that. A couple of director chairs around here, and that's a lovely area. So we're going to see the engines, but we're not going to see them just yet, and we're not going to see them from there. That will become clearer when we get inside. We've got sliding hatches up above us. I don't think I'll open those today. I don't think that will make me very popular. That catch there is because this whole window will hinge up and lock into place so that you can completely connect right through here. That works really well. And if we go on inside, I'll just show you in here, since we're passing it. It's not actually a sink, it's a bin. I'll edit that out later. And here's the interior. Again, it's just big, isn't it? Loads and loads of space on this one. It's SUV, as I mentioned, wound up to 11. Got the center island here for the galley. Here you've got double fridges and double freezers. That may be the other way around. I can't remember. And these lock shut like this. So yeah, those operate like so. We've got C-zone control here, so this is monitoring the boat, so you can get into, we can see everything here. The batteries are on at the minute, but you can dial into whatever it is that you want to see. So we could go into AC mains, for example, like so. That's also mirrored at the helm. Cooking, of course, there is a dishwasher in here. For those of you having dishwasher bets, apparently it's a thing now. Does have a dishwasher, let's have a bet on it. Storage along here, and then this really nice central island. This is great because when you're cooking here and chatting to people here, again, it comes back to that owner-operator ethos, doesn't it? Where everyone's together and everyone's having a good time. That's brilliant. This table is neat because it will actually fold away. These legs, you can see they come down here and go in, and they're hinged back there. So you lift that backrest up and you hinge, the whole thing goes like that and disappears from sight. That's fantastic. So if you want it for dining, you have it like that. If you're just relaxing, you can tuck it away. And in fact, we've got TV built in down here. Obviously, you definitely want a table out of the way for that. If you prefer, you can lose that and you can have a TV that rises up out of this cabinet here instead. And talking of choices, this one's got the bar area here. So we've got drinks around here, more refrigeration in here, a little sink. Again, if you want to, you can have that as an L-shaped seating area around here. So it just depends how you want to configure the boat. But when you're underway, that's quite a nice area for people to be alongside the helm. But in fact, even with that, you have got, again, because we're a bigger boat, you've got the triple seats on here rather than the double seats. Wine cooler tucked away underneath there, and then multi-function displays, all Garmin on this one, across here. We've also got Fusion Hi-Fi, very nice. And we've also got, on this particular boat, Seakeeper. So that is tucked away down underneath there. Little bonding instruments here for the engines, and that's the other C zone. So again, it's the monitoring system for the boat. Engine controls are here. The other thing this one's got, although it is a shaft drive, not an IPS drive, it does nonetheless have the joystick. And that's here. So what this does is it links up those engine controls with a bow thruster and a stern thruster, so that as you push that the way you want the boat to go, it responds. So push it sideways, boat goes sideways, twist it, boat twists, and so forth. That is a lovely helm, isn't it? I like that. Lovely seats with this sort of Alcantara style material here. Big sliding roof overhead. That powers back. I promised not to demonstrate that today. And then you've got blinds across here, so if it's a really bright day, you can close that off. You can also pull a bug screen over from that side, so that's pretty handy. And then we can head on down, and this will take us, of course, down to the lower deck. You find with Riviera these hatches everywhere because they are very, very aware that these boats get a lot of use, and they tend to have very practical owners, and people want to be able to get behind the scenes to maintain stuff. So that's very, very helpful. Drawers under the bed, but also this has got a massive locker here. Look at this. So people who come down with bags and that kind of thing, you've got somewhere to chuck them out the way. There we go. New term I learned today, these are pigeon lockers. I don't know why, but I was told these are pigeon lockers, so I guess that's where you keep your pigeons. Twin hatches overhead. Again, you've got blinds that come across and they open for ventilation or for an escape route if it was ever needed. We've got AV equipment, we've got the fusion system repeated down here as well. And wardrobe there. And in there. This is what I mean about these access traps, they're everywhere. So that one is getting you into an air conditioning chiller, for example. Very neat. The other thing that you have here is an ensuite. So this is just for this cabin. And you've got the sink, you've got a very nice separate shower area, and you've got the toilet over there. It's nicely done, isn't it? Bit of storage up in behind here, no doubt. Yeah, there we go. So that's that one, and then we can come back down the boat. These little chaps here are air conditioning controls. So if I touch that one there we go, it brings in your temperature and you can just dial it up and down to suit, and then light switches underneath. Day heads is here. What they've done with this, obviously you've got the door here into here, the door here into here. Obviously you've got the door here, edit out later, and then you've got sink, you've got the loo and the shower, but they've also put another door here. What that means is that it can be accessed direct from cabin 3. So at night that can become an ensuite straight through there. This has got wardrobe in behind here. Again, pull the tab, you've got access into some of the systems. for more pigeon lockers. The other thing you can do with this, you'll notice there's tracks in the floor, and that's because this one will power across, nestle up against this one, and you've got a double bed with access down there. And what's clever is there's another bedside cabinet hidden underneath there. So as this moves across and that one disappears, that one appears. Cool, huh? And if we cross over, there's a little bunk room over here. So this would share that day heads with this cabin at night if they were all in use. And they've made really good use of this little space, because you've got bed there, but then another bed that runs across and disappears down underneath the stairs. So you've got a full length bed there as well. Obviously your feet go at that end. Little steps to get up into the top one. You've got window in that one as well, so it's nicely lit. And then we've got a little bit of storage down underneath there. But that is rather ingenious use of that space, isn't it? I like that. And if we shuffle across this way and head back, this takes us down then to the owner's cabin. Great big mirror, little mirror wave, dog leg through here. And in we go. So the actual doorway closes across here like this. There we go. And this is full beam. And if you wander across AV equipment, of course, you've got a shalong here with storage underneath it, but what you can have, if you prefer, is another storage area like that one over there. So that's all drawers across there, and you can mirror it here. So if storage is your priority, you can have it. If you want somewhere to tuck yourself away with a good book, then this is brilliant. And then here, you can sit here, feet up, drink in one hand, book in the other, and enjoy the view of Palm Beach and its liquid sunshine. Oh dear. Never mind, we march on. Right, let's head on round here. There's another little surprise in here actually. Well, firstly there's an ensuite, of course, as you'd expect, but it's a bit more than that. That one is wardrobe, thusly. More storage for pigeons. Somebody tell me what they call pigeon lockers. And then ensuite is in here, but not just the ensuite. There we go. That's a great size, isn't it? As you'd expect, of course, it's the owner's cabin, but nonetheless, that is nice. Storage again down here. Sink. Bit more up here. These are portholes, all these little circular chaps, and you'll notice they've got little wires on them here. And the reason they've got wires on is because they're set with an alarm. So if you try and start the engines with those open, it'll let you know, so you don't go to sea and have salt water coming into here. I think it's a brilliant idea. You don't actually see that very often. It sounds an obvious thing, but it's not. You don't normally get that. Shower here. Bars here. For reasons that I don't understand. I wonder if they're heated, perhaps it's like a heated tower rail sort of thing. Don't know. Anyway, this is what I want to show you. Another doorway here. Check this out. This is a utility room. How nice is that? So your washer dryer is in here, you've got a load more storage down in places like this for, I don't know, linen or whatever else you want to keep in there. And this shelf up here is big enough that if you wanted to use this as a crew cabin, you could do. And you might think, well, you wouldn't want your crew coming through your cabin, and you're dead right. You'd come through the engine space, through that hatch that we saw in that aft deck, down through and into here, and then this door here would stay closed. You've also got in here, because obviously if you are using it as a crew cabin, you need facilities, and you've got them, they're in there. There we go. Very nice. There's even a shower. There we go, so it's basically a wet room. But it has to be said that the vast majority of these are owner operated, so that would be a pretty occasional use. Switch panels there. But it's just giving you a little bit more flexibility. If you want to, you can lose that bulkhead there, lose that whole ensuite to this area, and take this all the way along and give yourself a bit more space. But this is quite clever because it does give you that duality of purpose, albeit, as I say, it is probably just a very much an occasional use. So perhaps the boat was being delivered or something and you wanted to have somewhere for a skipper to be able to use as his own maybe you'd use it for that, but it's certainly not the sort of thing you can have full-time liveaboard crew on, obviously. And then this takes us through to the engine space. Now again, you might think, well, I don't want mechanics coming through my cabin to get to the engines. Well, of course you don't need to, because if you remember, there is that hatch up ahead that's in the cockpit, so that would be the normal route through for maintenance. This just means that you've got another route in, and it's just making things easier really. If you're the owner, you want to just come in and check your engines of a morning, well then you haven't got to go up and through and around and down, you just walk in and here they are. And what we have here is a pair of MAN V12 diesel engines. These are big chunky engines. They're actually a shaft drive but through a V-box, so you've got twin disc gearboxes here. The power comes out of the front, it comes down this shaft here, goes through the twin disc gearbox, and you can just see the shaft then coming out down there and disappearing out through the back of the boat. So the configuration is very much shaft drive, but the advantage of this is it puts the engines further back, because as you can imagine, if you continued that shaft up and had the engine in front of it, well, then your engines would be up in the cabin and that would be inconvenient. Cummins generator is there, and there's a second one over on this side. These are the air conditioning units racked along the top. All nice and get at it, well, isn't it? And then right at the back, we have got water maker, blue water maker, and stabilizer. It's a gyro stabilizer, Seakeeper, I think I'm right in saying. At the back, that's the big box behind. Now, in terms of power and performance, they're the 1300s, which are actually 1,550 horsepower each. I'm not sure why they call them 1300s, but there it is. Top speed, therefore, just over 30 knots. So it's a quick boat, considering it's a big, chunky family cruiser. Cruising speed were your sort of 23 knots up to maybe towards 30 knots, really, that sort of area. And range at planing speeds, 350 miles-ish, something like that. As ever, drop it back to displacement speeds, and I've got figures on this one out of interest. If you're doing 8.7 knots, roughly, you're looking at over 1,200 miles of range, and that's the difference it makes. You need an awful lot of power to kick a boat this size up onto the plane and run it at high speed, but it gives you the option, doesn't it? It gives you the ability to get home quick, get the hammer down, or you can cruise at low speed and get that range. What you can't do is cheat physics and get both, I'm afraid. Not yet, anyway. But yeah, that's a nice engine space. Good headroom in here too. Lovely. Right, now, of course, Aquaholic tours are always access all areas, and that includes the foredeck. So we're going to have to go out and get wet. But you know, I am a sucker for my art. I've got to do it right. So we're going to have a wander around the front. But we'll stop here and enjoy being dry just for a moment. And then we'll press on. As I say, it is at least a nice quiet boat show. What's in here? That's good. See, things like this is just saying, okay, we've got a dead space there. Why don't we put some drawers in and then we can use it? That's clever thinking. I like the fact as well, look at the way that high traffic areas have got this nice sturdy floor and these non-slip high wear areas, and then you've got carpets as you come down into the cabin areas. That's very good. Again, all about practical thinking, isn't it? Good, I think we've done that justice. Let's go and brave the weather. That's nice, isn't it? I don't know if you can hear that, but you can actually hear the rain as you come up. Okay, side door, did I mention? I can't remember, but the side door is there. That's very helpful. And this, of course, then has a sliding door to enclose this area. That's the hatch that we saw with a ladder from the engine space. So if you've got mechanics working on the boat, they just come through and down and into the engine room. But as I say, that other area is very helpful if you're an owner operator and you want to just nip down there and keep an eye on things. We've got storage around underneath here, and I think I'm right in saying you can have fridges underneath there as well. So an awful lot of cold storage if you want it. Brilliant. Okay, right. Let me get my stolen umbrella. I appropriated this earlier. It's a push button one. Look at this. Ready? Hang on. Let's get out of the way of this. That's fantastic, isn't it? I will take it back later. Right. Side decks. Can you hear that rain? Oh, it's grim. Engine vents are there. This is very Riviera. I like this. You've got fuel gauges actually next to the fuel fillers. So as you're filling it up, you can watch how much fuel is in there, know when it's getting full, make sure it's balanced, that kind of thing. I do always love these illuminated Riviera badges. They're really, really cool. We head on forward and up. That's a storage area there. I'm not going to open it because my hands are now officially full. And then this is the seating area. Now, people often say, how does the cockpit upholstery or the outside upholstery manage when the weather's bad? And here's your answer: it gets covered up, and that protects it. So table there, and that's seating all the way around. Those two hatches that we saw in that forward cabin. So that's where they pop out. And then we've got anchor chain lockers here, the anchor windlass, and I think I'm right in saying a very smart Ultra anchor on there. Is that an Ultra? It is an Ultra. Yes, I can spot them now. Lovely. That is a mark of quality, that is. Brilliant. Look at this boat show. I feel so sorry for these guys. This is open for 4 days. Some weather's bad tomorrow as well, and it is just a washout basically. Look at it. It's grim. And having worked boat shows, I can tell you there's nothing more boring than being the poor sod sat on the back of the boat with just nothing much going on. Having said that, of course, if you do get a customer come to talk to you, at least you know they're dead serious. So there we go. Anyway, that's about it. I think that's a really, really smart boat. As ever from Riviera. Huge thanks to you guys for watching. Huge thanks to Riviera for organising the tour and let me film it in the rain. And let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll catch you on one of these real soon. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm going to get back into the dry.